here on easy ground, so that's a positive for today, similar conditions.
No, me giving Chris Hayes the leg up at number 7, the 9 race maiden Lottie Loveheart, fourth and a claimer at Bellewstown last week. Directly behind is Mick Mulvaney's Grove Hill, was a winner of a claimer in Sligo, and then finished fourth here behind Tony the Gent, if memory serves me right. Most recent start, similar race as well.
Yeah, Tennessee Wildcat, same colour, same trainer. Yeah, that was a good run. Like, Tennessee Wildcat won easily, but she wasn't that far behind him. Again, she was prominent. She led 2 furlongs out before the cavalry came and kind of usurped her, but that was a good run as well.
Stuff runners leaving the parade ring for our opening race of the afternoon, 8 race card here at Gowran Park.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. 11 to 4 joint favourite Slepet, who goes for Gavin Cromwell's obviously been a hard few weeks with the loss of Esport Dallin, but he is continuing fine form in the flat and over jumps, and recently announced that Jonathan Muir is going to be stable jockey over jumps for him last week, so best of luck for that combination for the coming months. But this daughter of Epaulette's in stall 1 today, and Andrew Slattery was seen as his £5 is excellent value in any sorts of races. She's got the cheek pieces on for the first time. Time makes it fine. The daughter of Luke de Vega for Jessica Harrington, she and Foley in stall 6. The other 11 to 4 joint favourite. Never Rains for Dennis Hogan. And Dennis, another trader, is numerically going up and under both codes. Joey Sheridan on board, who's attached to the yard, claiming 7. Grove Hill is 13 to 2, just been clipped in from 7 to 1 from Michael Mulvaney and Gary Carroll. She's drawn out in stall 10, but it'll be interesting to see where the horses race here. Will they come up more at the centre of the track or yielding soft in places? So we'll find out very shortly indeed. So the horses making their way round for the first to play golf at Gowran Park, fillies claiming stakes. So let's get back to the lads on track ahead of our opener.
Yes, cheers, Niall. For one we haven't looked at, we didn't get a chance to look at the parade ring, and there he is. Sorry, she, Never Rains. Now with Dennis Hogan, won a claimer under Andy Slattery for former trainer Fozzie Stack at Killarney, and has run consistently well since.
Yeah, it was a good run the last Tipperary, Kevin. That was in the race that ruled the sea. Won Paddy Harnet's first winner, and like she was in behind that day, and she made nice progress on the far side. She didn't have she wasn't unlucky, but she didn't have an awful lot of racing room, and it was a kind of a messy enough race. The kind of concertina of it going down the back straight, and it probably wasn't an advantage to be in behind. So Never Rain, she stayed on well to take 3rd place that day. She's off just a pound lower mark today, a mark of 60. So that's a positive that she's down. And as you say, she was, she did well for Fozzie Stack, claimed out of a Killarney claimer. And she's only run 3 times now for Dennis Hogan. So yeah, she's one who could come forward from her last run.
Yeah, she's rated 60. Joy Sheridan taking a valuable 7 off as well, and that was an instant packed race, that apprentice race. Just missed the interference. Emma Doyle, thankfully she was okay rides today. She took a heavy fall from one of her dad's horses, Tim Doyle, and a couple of horses nearly got brought down as well, but Never Rains avoided all the chaos that day.
Yeah, no, it's great, absolutely. It's great that Emma Doyle is back riding today. Like, at the time it was Paddy Harnet's first winner, and you kind of nearly didn't want to join in the celebrations until you knew that Emma Doyle was okay. So look, it was a messy, it wasn't just messy in the straight either, it was a little bit messy down the back straight as well. They seemed to go fast and then slow and then fast again, but in fairness to Paddy Harnet, he did all he needed to do in front. He rode a lovely race from the front, and he's ridden another winner since, so doubled his tally. So yeah, look, that was a race that everybody came home safely, which was great. And Never Rains, she's one of the fillies to take out of it, I would have thought.
Yeah, the highest race we haven't got a chance to look at is the Feathered Nest from John McConnell. John McConnell going great guns as well. Let it be on the flat over jumps. And Siobhan Rutledge taking 10 off was a daughter of Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse loving easing the ground. She was a 3-time winner when trained by Richard Fahey, and has had 2 runs since joining John McConnell.
Yeah, like
there she is there in shot.
Yeah, like she was only 10th last time behind Mr. Bean, but actually she wasn't beaten that far. She was only beaten about 5 lengths in the end, and she never really got into the race, but still, that was a really good race, and the form has been upheld with the winner, Mr. Bean and Ducky Mallon. They both went on and upheld. Even Blair Main, who was 7th, he won that good 6 furlong handicap at the Curragh, and Master Matt, who was 5th, he won the following day at the Curragh. So it's a race that's worked out well, and she wasn't beaten that far. She's actually down 2 pounds today, and yeah, look, she'd won for for Richard Fahey. This was only her third run for John McConnell, and she's the one who could come on from her last run as well.
She's been dropped £3 for her 2 runs. Final question, your idea of the winner of her first race, Don?
I thought Never Range was the most interesting, Kevin. I just think that she could step forward from her last run.
Let's get up to Jerry Hanna for the first call of the afternoon.
Over a mile, and in the early stages, prominent on the inside is Lapid, settling down. In these early stages and heading right up the far side of the track, it's Lapid the leader, being followed by Never Rains, and up on the outside is Grove Hill, being followed by Time Makes It Fine. 6 furlongs to go, heading across the top of the track, and the leader is Lapid, a length in front of Time Makes It Fine, and a further length back then to Grove Hill and Lottie Loveheart racing together. Never Rains is next on the inside, and they're being followed by Queen Mia as they head for the halfway stage, and they run into the straight in the opening play golf at Gordon Park Fillies claiming race. And it's Lapid the leader, followed by Time Makes It Fine, 2 lengths back to Grove Hill, third on the outside of Lottie Loveheart, and then comes Never Rains and Nacky Candy, and Queen Mia next with Clonard Abbey towards the back. Both Dandy Peril and the Feathered Nest as they head on up the straight with just over 2 furlongs to go. And it is Lapid challenged by Time Makes It Fine on the outside. Never Rains is not out of it. Then Grove Hill and Lottie Loveheart, they've a furlong and a half to go. And Never Rains in the middle comes to pick it up, heads Lapid, and then Grove Hill who's running on. And then comes Time Makes It Fine and Lottie Loveheart, but it's Never Rains in the lead under Joey Sheridan. A couple of lengths in front with rallying on the rail is Lapid and then Grove Hill, but Never Rains 3/4 of a length the winner from Lapid. Third is Grove Hill, then Time Makes It Fine and Lottie Loveheart.
Yes, well, Never Rains continues her consistent run of form, deservedly gets her head in front as well, and hasn't run a bad race. Second win of her career, won a claimer as we said for Fozzie Stack, subsequently claimed by New Connections now. Good run the last day in an apprentice race, and wins in good style here.
Yeah, she's come forward nicely from that run, Kevin. She could have been marked up on the bare form of her run the last day, as you mentioned. So, yeah, look, and she's potentially well handicapped going into the race. She's a good horse, progressive horse for Fozzie Stack, and then claimed by Dennis Hogan out of that Killarney race. So, yeah, she's done it well. In fairness, you mentioned, you gave Joey Sheridan a good mention before, and he's a very, very nice rider. He's doing really, really well with the opportunities that he's getting, and he's given her a lovely ride. Just, look, all winning rides, it's easy to say they're good rides, but he got her nicely settled on the rail, and then he cleverly took her to the outside in the home straight, which, as you were talking about earlier on, it's often the better ground at Gowran Park when the ground is soft. It depends how soft it is, but it's a good indicator that the horses who came near side, they finished off well.
Yeah, Lapid's brought them along a nice even gallop in front. First time cheek piece. Again, she's run a consistent race. Nice uses for her. Had the run of the race. Nice use for Jessica Harrington's runner-up either. Time Makes It Fine. Had every chance also.
Yeah, no, she's run well as well, hasn't she? Like, she's up there in the van. Look, you can see Never Rains there's back 6th on the inside. Time Makes It Fine is up there, and it doesn't look like there was any massive advantage to be gained from either racing prominently or being held up. It looks like it's just a good solid pace, and every filly has a chance in it, and Time Makes It Fine. Yeah, look, her run the last day behind Metia here, she's probably come forward from that. Here, I think she's run a nice race as well.
Grove Hill for Mick Mulvaney again has been consistent as well. It's a low grade, obviously. Finishes back in third. She's sitting there third, just around a length and a half, 2 lengths off Shane Foley, and Lottie Loveheart back in the inside. I thought she was threatening with a chance as well, but when the gap's open, she just didn't go through, did she?
No, and did she get the gaps? I'll have to look at it again.
She got a gap down the inner of Lapid.
Right,
there was enough room for her to go up.
no excuses. No, there was a point where it looked like she might not get a gap, but she's got it all right. Yeah, look, Lapid's kept on well. Grove Hill stays on well into third place, second place. But yeah, look, from a furlong out, it looked like with Never Rain coming down the outside, and Never Rains, it looked like she had the race, and she's pricking her ears there as well, going to the front, and she's probably won with a little bit in hand.
Yes, Lapid back in second, and Grove Hill maybe step back up and trip for Grove Hill will be in the offing.
Yeah, exactly. She's come from a little bit further back as well. She was drawn 10, wide enough, and she's seen her race out well. Here's the head on here. You can see Never Rains as widest of all.